Here we go at Itza Park with the Jaegers in possession with Jackson, and they will be desperately keen to start, finish and put a better middle together than they did last week. I just think that Jane Altschwager, and you were there, Liz, probably wasn't 100% confident on that ankle that she's had trouble with. As Wellham puts up the first shot and Reddy brings down the first rebound.
Of course, Jane Altschwager had the serious Achilles injury. She's just come back from that. And fair enough, she didn't have her best game. Her shooting statistics weren't up there.
Heinrich, Medhurst, the von Bertouchs, and it's Mutton at wing defence. And Edwards and Reddy under Margaret Angove with her 150th game. And there are the Jaegers: Altschwager, Wellham, Katie Bradstock, Reagan Jackson, Jane Menzies, Kim Purcell and Danny Harvey. And Emma Costa's the other circle defender in the mix that John Fletcher may call on. Heinrich. And an early miss from her as Purcell also pulls down an uncontested rebound. Harvey looking for an option. Menzies, super fit player, went up to Newcastle on Monday to talk to John Fletcher and to watch the players train, and there were some girls putting in some pretty hard work. I think they felt disappointed in themselves.
They certainly do. Having spoken to John Fletcher during the week, the girls were very disappointed with their performance. And mind you, they really haven't had a long period training together during their pre-season. When John Fletcher arrived to coach the Jaegers only 12 weeks ago, he only had 5 of his 12 players available for training.
Heinrich, a quick give off to Laura von Bertouch and Medhurst now for the 2-0 start, and they've got it.
Great pressure over the shot by Purcell. A better match-up in terms of size. Last week she was up against Kate Beveridge, and there was about a 10 or 12 centimetre height disadvantage against her, so much better match-up against Medhurst.
Bradstock. Well, we'll come back across to Reagan Jackson. And they've got a few players out now. This should make it an easy option to find Wellham. Oh, Altschwager wasn't expecting that. And still with the Jaegers, they're making hard work of it. They had a nice, comfortable setup there.
They certainly did. When you've got one defender against 2, it should be an easy shot at the basket.
Well, there's a holding call against Reddy as Altschwager's getting a thorough working over. As a former South Australian, of course, they're all too familiar with it.
And a former Thunderbirds player. Jane, I marked up against her in the 2000 grand final when she was playing with Thunderbirds.
Medhurst off to Heinrich.
Fantastic defensive pressure by Harvey.
Von Bertouch didn't know where the ball had gone, and Harvey was quick to swoop. Purcell on to Jackson. Quick ball. They're moving it around quite nicely. Got not much to show for it yet on the scoreboard. Altschwager. Wellham makes the move. Bradstock. Wellham. Sitting 2 back on Jane.
They were, but that was oh, goodness. What an awkward land by Jane. I just thought she should have pulled that last ball in. Attacking-wise, the Jaegers are looking a lot more comfortable. Oh. Very uncoordinated.
It looked awkward.
It's awkward.
Wellham. So 2-2. 4 minutes gone at Itza Park, and Reddy is reading it well. Looked at Deb Farrell and said, who's got the throw in? And it went the Thunderbirds' way.
Pass by Bradstock just needed to be a little bit higher. Jane Altschwager's got the height advantage against Reddy.
Hold on, fans, this side. There.
Medhurst.
Shortening, both out.
So Medhurst 2 from 2. Heinrich 1 from 3. Laura von Bertouch to Heinrich. Von Bertouch again, and Heinrich has rolled along the baseline away from Harvey.
the famous Heinrich move. She does it incredibly well and manages to find so much space.
Over 9 minutes gone. Von Bertouch. Medhurst to Laura.
Great drive by Medhurst. Purcell just on the wrong side of the body to have a crack at that intercept. They've got an opportunity now with a rebound, but missed it.
Medhurst. So 5:10 left in the first quarter. Harvey cleaned up by Heinrich.
Just the Jaegers putting each other under so much pressure. On one foot, throwing the pass way ahead of each other.
Heinrich, good use of the bounce pass. Oh, and Purcell.
That clean intercept. Disappointing from the defender's point of view when that happens.
Transgression came just earlier. John Fletcher chewing the nails down with Rob Wright, assistant coach. Purcell to Altschwager. Bradstock. Oh, almost gave that to Reddy. Oh, and that is going to be the Thunderbirds' ball. She's worked that off the face of the luckless Altschwager.
Altschwager with a no-look pass into Wellham. Reddy tried to hit it in and, yeah, got Altschwager fair square in the face.
And volleyball, I think they call that a six-pack. Right in the face.
Both goalers out of the circle for the Thunderbirds. Good opportunity for the Jaegers to block them both out.
Medhurst. So a lead of 7 for the Thunderbirds. 3:25 left in the first quarter. As Medhurst gives off to Laura von Bertouch. Heinrich just floats and takes it. Contact against Harvey.
Brilliant play by the Thunderbirds. Fantastic pass into Heinrich by Laura von Bertouch.
Well, Thunderbirds have scored the last 3. Last year they won 70-42 and 57-40. That round 4 win by 28 goals was their biggest in the 4 times they played. In 2004, 51-39 and 60-42 to the T-Birds. So ready to bring them out of defence once more. Magnificent job to hold them to just 4 goals so far.
Brilliant effort by the entire Thunderbirds team to put so much pressure on their opposition.
Oh, as soon as you say it. Over it comes.
Always away.
Menzies. Back to Purcell. Jackson. Wellham. One of those matches in 2004, the 60-42 result. Lara Wellham shot 19 from 20. I'd love another display like that. Nat von Bertouch.
She needs to get more of the ball to have that opportunity to shoot in that percentage.
Heinrich nearly guilty of a hop there.
Great anticipation by Purcell. She saw the ball up in the air in the pocket. Went for it with 2 hands and was awarded the penalty.
Bradstock. Altschwager. They're making all sorts of moves. But it's with Wellham on the baseline. Big shot, this one. And through it goes cleanly. Wellham 2 from 3. Altschwager 3 from 4. Just a paucity of possession in the circle where they've been able to get shots away. Heinrich.
A great understanding there between Heinrich and Medhurst. Heinrich had all eyes for Laura von Bertouch in the pocket. Dished off a little bounce pass to Medhurst, who was coming along the baseline. Now we're seeing an awful lot of moves by Jane Altschwager. She's got the goal shooter bib on this week. And ideally, it might be best to see her as a focal point and staying back in the circle and allowing Wellham to do more movement outside the circle. She has got a height advantage over Reddy and could easily do some holding it and pull in those high balls.
Heinrich. Nat von Bertouch. Heinrich drives to the post. Trying to keep with her was Harvey. Sometimes, well, often, the player just is beaten by the ball if the pass is good enough.
Definitely, there was precision in most of those passes there. Jackson nearly had a hand to it, but missed it by centimetres.
Well, this is a dream first quarter for the home side. Margaret Angove has got to be very proud of the team's effort here. And there's even room for improvement with the shooting at 78%, but defensively, a brilliant game from all players.
She's got plenty of talent on the bench as well, hasn't she? With Scholes sitting on the bench, an unusual position for her to be in.
That should be the last goal of the quarter, and it is. As Margaret Angove writes in with some pleasure, I think, a 10-goal lead at quarter time. It is the Thunderbirds at Etsa Park, 15-5 over the Jaegers. So on we go. Second quarter action at Etsa Park with the Jaegers in a little bit of trouble, and they've made a couple of positional changes out there. With Menzies and Jackson effectively swapping positions. So Jackson back to wing defence, Menzies to centre. See if that can spark their mid-court. Just got to get some more ball to Altschwager and Wellham. Easy to say.
Yeah, it is when you're playing against a team as classy as the Thunderbirds. The entire full-court pressure of the Thunderbirds was what was the standout to me in the first quarter. So if they can keep that up, the Jaegers will have to work extremely hard in this quarter.
Medhurst. Heinrich setting up a little bit of a helpful screen there, and in fact it was in such a good position she got the rebound.
An unusual miss for Medhurst, who was under the ring then.
Thunderbirds by 10 as it was at quarter time. Jaegers have scored the last two though. Touch from Mutton. Whoops. And Radstock just has to give up possession under pressure. Heinrich. And that's for Harvey.
Tough call.
When have you started siding with the goalers? What's happened?
Harvey had the best position then, but just didn't quite turn quick enough with that front position for the rebound, but then was still awarded the ball. So, unusual call.
Oh, well done, von Bertouch. Laura it was. To Nat von Bertouch now. And another double dodge this time from Medhurst. Another screen from Heinrich.
No goal,
No goal. Contact against Heinrich.
Heinrich and Medhurst do a lot of screening in their match, and Heinrich did try to screen off for that particular shot. It went against her, actually.
Altschwager quick to get to the circle. And Reddy, of course, is stuck 3 metres out of it. Wellham, and she's there in a flash.
Great screen by Altschwager. Not quite the placement she was after by Menzies.
I think Reddy and Edwards are playing with the enthusiasm you'd expect of defenders who are under pressure from the bench. Great competition for spots.
As we mentioned in the intro, 4 great players vying for 2 positions. So that these 2 players out there want to put out their best performance to stay out on court.
Heinrich. Nice delayed option to find Medhurst moving left and right.
Great pressure over the shot by Purcell. Didn't fade Medhurst at all.
That was nearly one for us, but 9 from 12 for both Heinrich and Medhurst at 75. Last week, Altschwager shot 67%, Wellham 72. I think to beat the Thunderbirds today, they'd need to be shooting well into the 80s and not giving away ball like that.
Certainly not. There's another no-look pass by Jane, I think, but just didn't quite make it through. Edwards in the right place at the right time, ended up with the ball in her hand.
Purcell carried that out the back, so that's Thunderbirds' ball.
Advantage offside, wing.
Heinrich. Purcell doing a good job. Nice little spin roll. What's the right term for that?
Just a roll off or you just
Spin roll?
Yeah. I'm not up with the terms for a goal, I see.
You put
A
them on at the
nuisance, I
other
would
end.
have called it if I was playing against it.
Contact and offside, centre.
Just out. In Jaegers' possession as Nat von Bertouch put the shoe across the line.
Only just. Even when it was heading out, you just have faith in the Thunderbirds players that they're able to get it back on in court. Only just off balance, or just out of court, should I say, but she certainly had the balance to flick it back in, which she attempted to.
By a toenail. Von Bertouch, Edwards on the drive. Looks like she's really enjoying the netball, Mandy Edwards.
Definitely loving the run out at goal defence, but a little bit too quick down the centre of the court then.
She's had various foot and leg injuries and broken toe, and they thought was arthritis or something.
Contact, wing.
Former goaler for the Ravens, and of course the AIS. Mandy Edwards, a changing career, and it's really blossoming at the moment. But defensively,
Most unusual for a player to change position at a late stage like that in her netball career, but she's certainly proved that theory wrong.
well, she's got the height to be okay at either end, hasn't she? She's well over 180 centimetres. Altschwager put under a heap of pressure. Got to get the shot away quickly. Does that and does it well. But just their fourth of the quarter in 7 minutes. Medhurst. Laura von Bertouch.
Advantage offside, wing. Advantage offside, centre. Advantage obstruction, centre.
Heinrich. 25 to 10. The Thunderbird scoring has just been reined in a little bit in this second quarter, but they haven't offered too many more to the Jaegers. Have only added another 5. Heinrich. It's been a slightly messier second quarter, Liz.
It certainly has. There's been a few changes, as we've mentioned, with the Jaegers, whether it's taken a little bit longer for them to settle in. But, yeah, not as smooth, I suppose, as the first quarter was.
Jackson looking for Altschwager, finding her. Edwards well out of the circle to try and shut down Altschwager. Wellham, Reddy and Altschwager having a fine old duel. Out it comes. Contact against Reddy. Reddy with 6 penalties in almost half a game. I reckon that's pretty fair for a defender. Coach won't be cross with that.
It's a great block by Reddy after that shot against Altschwager. Really put Altschwager in a difficult position not to get her own rebound.
Heinrich just giving it back to nobody. The Jaegers.
Great contest by Brad Stockett. Mutton leaning over that transverse line.
Come on, step in. Medhurst. Edwards. 90 seconds left in the second. It's all a bit too frantic out there. The error rate has certainly crept up in this second quarter, particularly the last 5 or 7 minutes.
It has. The turnover rate, 21 against the Jaegers to the Thunderbirds 13. Medhurst creating a couple of more opportunities with her great defensive work down court.
Altschwager really arching back at full stretch to take that one, and Altschwager indicating to the umpire quite emphatically that she was being hit on the forearm with that shot. And the umpire just didn't catch a glance. He was either ignoring it or just flat out didn't see it. What?
I'm sure she would ignore it.
You paid to talk to me, not laugh at me, all right? Brad Stock.
Sense of urgency with the Thunderbirds attack line up there, and they were really pushing. It was like they were aiming to get, 40 on the board by the end of the second quarter. They've really turned up the heat.
Advantage offside,
Bertouch.
advantage offside, centre.
Medhurst. Last seconds of the quarter. And 16 is the lead, and that's probably all there will be. Is it? And just 7 goals added by the Jaegers and plenty by the Thunderbirds. Players are ready. 16 is the margin, and I don't know, the Jaegers, can't say they're out of it, but it's been a low-scoring first half. And Schultz is on for the Thunderbirds. Mutton has moved to centre, and the front half looks the same. And Narelle Ether is on at wing attack for the Jaegers. I just think as a sort of general comment, the Thunderbirds have been relentless in their pressure over the ball. And when they don't have possession, they've got 7 defenders, which is what the coach wants of you.
Definitely, it just has been full court pressure from the Thunderbirds, but as Margaret Angove said during the break, she's a little bit disappointed with the scattiness of the attack end, but she was looking at changing that for this quarter.
Mutton. Medhurst. Heinrich and Medhurst. Medhurst up to 84%. She was 82 last week. And it's Heinrich who's dropped a little bit, but, you know, that's being picky.
Jane Altschwager holding very well in front. Edwards got caught behind then. Not the ideal position for a defender.
38 to 18. 6:23 left on the clock in the third quarter. The Thunderbirds chase their second win from as many starts. Bradstock is on at centre. So a slight change to the Jaegers lineup. There's Bradstock, who started the game at wing attack, now at centre.
Misunderstanding between Bradstock and Jackson then. Unfortunate. They just can't afford that type of error.
Bradstock and Jackson. Sounds like an accounting firm or something. Heinrich. Very tough to beat at home, the Thunderbirds. They've got the most impressive home record of any team. This is a real fortress, Etzer Park, and a good venue. Did you enjoy playing here, Liz? I mean, except for the toughness of the matches.
We used to love the court here, actually. I always found there was plenty of room, and even though it's the same size, court everywhere, it always felt like there was plenty of room for us to make our moves against the Thunderbirds.
You can always catch up with the news of what's happening around the league at the ABC Netball website. There it is for you, abc.net.au/netball for the results and stories, the goss, the news, the Todd Miller information. Oops, down goes Mutton. Jackson. Ether. Ether, you get it, or Ether, I will.
She'd love to hear those jokes, Steve.
Yeah. Not that she's had them all her life.
Yeah.
Thanks, Liz. I need to be pulled up occasionally. You're just the girl to do it. Heinrich, yeah. Just enlighten me. When you've got one-handed possession like she seemed to have there, although I don't think that was the call, it was more of a contact.
It was more of a contact.
Yeah, if you've just got the ball in one hand, as you're just catching it, and you haven't got the second hand to it, are you an open target for the defender?
You are, definitely, because if the defender came through with 2 hands, it would clearly be their possession, as long as there was no contact involved.
Altschwager to shoot over Edwards. Oh, out it comes. How?
Unlucky.
It's just that kind of night, I'm afraid, for the Jaegers. Altschwager called for the deliberate contact, and Deb Farrelly smiling. Altschwager, she didn't make too much of a fuss about being admonished.
Medhurst in a comfortable position to shoot them, but preferred to pass it out to Mutton on the goal circle.
Well, Medhurst managed to draw both defenders. Heinrich left open, and Purcell comes down with a rebound. They missed a chance there, the Thunderbirds, but they haven't missed many. 40 to 18. So again, a low-scoring quarter for the Jaegers. Just 6. Von Bertouch. to Edwards. We thought that Demelza Fellows would get on in this game at some point, and she's still got 1 quarter maybe to take part. What do you think? Will Margaret Angove pull that trigger?
Well, neither teams are warming up. Usually leading into a quarter-time break, often the players head off and warm up. Demelza's certainly sitting there along with her teammates. I'm not sure if there'll be any moves in the next quarter.
Huge arc on that shot from Medhurst to get over the defenders, and they've scored 7 in a row. Ouch. 24 is the lead. And Thunderbirds on their way here. Last week, Jaegers beaten 67-38. I don't think they're going to get 38 this week.
And ironically, the score with the Thunderbirds and the Darters was 68-37. So very
close,
similar result.
Wellham ready. Good hold.
Good, great pressure.
Yeah, but a great shot from Wellham. 8 from 11 for Lara. Medhurst. Laura von Bertouch finds Heinrich. Oh, Medhurst just looked like she had the slightly stronger hands there. That was a 50-50 ball.
It was, but Purcell was actually on the wrong side of the body. But, yeah, it could have nearly been a toss-up. Purcell needed to be a little bit more stronger with the take out of Medhurst's hand.
Yeah. Bradstock. Wellham to the corner, too short. Oh, and Scholes was offside. Just stepped into the circle.
Too easy for Scholes. She knows that circle so well. It's an unusual. You don't often, get her offside going for an intercept.
Altschwager, too long. Mutton. Oops. Oh, how did that find its mark? It did in von Bertouch. And Mutton there for another take. And Costa on Medhurst. Another penalty. That'll cost her. Stop me. There's Demelza Fellows warming up out the back with Nat von Bertouch. Oh, no look pass and no result.
Well, it wasn't a great result, actually. Purcell's out of play for the 18th time in this match.
Absolutely hand on the shot there. I don't know how the umpire can miss that when I can see it from 20 metres away. I mean, sorry. You know I never criticise umpires more than 10 times a match. But that, really, I don't know whether that's the kind of thing that Jane Altschwager was referring to. The same end.
She was pleading for the umpire earlier, but the umpire wasn't.
Yeah.
Wasn't
I wasn't even looking for that, and it just jumped out at me. Goals must go nuts. You defenders are so dirty.
No, we're not.
Ready. There we go. That'll stop me. 44-19. It's three-quarter time as Jeff Farrelly takes the match ball. And the Thunderbirds, they're just going on with it here by 25. Last quarter action at Etzer Park. And straight away, a turnover. As Nat von Bertouch works it through Mutton to Martin. So there are changes everywhere for the Thunderbirds. This might just upset their rhythm and teamwork a little with a handful of changes, but they've got the match so well in control, you would understand, almost expect Margaret Angove to put her bench players out there.
Why wouldn't you give the opportunity when they've got such a healthy lead? I'm sure the players will settle in quite nicely, and you might not even notice a bump in their sort of lead.
So the Thunderbirds look this way. Fellows and Poynton are the new circle defenders, and we've got Amanda Martin on at goal shooter and Nat von Bertouch at wing attack. So Heinrich out of the game on 21 from 26, 81%, backing up from 86 last week. I think she picked up 3 points in was the most valuable player in the match against the Darters. Medhurst still out there on 24 from 28. Kimberly Gilmore is on at wing defence. Wellham and Altschwager have flip-flopped again, as they've done before in the match. Ether Altschwager back at goal shooter as she started the match.
Tough call then. Both players had hands on the ball. I would have thought it was Altschwager's possession, marginally. But Jamelza will take that intercept down on her stats.
Thanks a lot, she says. Mutton. Medhurst. Coaches will be trying to get a couple of things done when you put on your bench players in a match you've got under control. One, you reward the players who train hard and are part of the squad. And two, you never know when you're going to get an injury and you're going to need your bench players to be slotting right in and playing almost or as well as the player they're replacing.
Definitely. You know, the sooner you can get a player out there, the better during the season. Margaret Angove was well known in the past to have a starting 7 and consistent starting 7 for the entire year, and perhaps that caught her out a few times come finals time.
In her defence, I don't think she quite had the depth of players that she's got right now. Yeah.
Fair call.
First time you said I'm fair all night, so I'll just mark that down. It's 20
late
minutes to 9. Yeah. Thunderbirds have put 4 together and lead it by 30. We would only have hoped for a percentage booster of this proportion, and it should see them still at the top of the table. Martin. Bradstock to Wellham.
Great defensive pressure by Fellows then, putting the block on Altschwager and keeping her out of the circle. A fantastic match-up actually, just with the height between Fellows and Altschwager.
So both teams have sisters playing. Now we have to think hard about any other teams that would have that. With Kimberly Gilmore and Reagan Jackson. I mentioned Reagan was, of course, Reagan Gilmore, plus the von Bertouch on the other side.
Very unique. Wouldn't their parents be proud, Steve?
Absolutely.
Another turnover by the Jaegers. Picked up by Fellows.
Oops. Fellows. Scholes. Make it 32 the lead, and the match has gone this way as far as the scores developing goes. 15-5 first quarter, and then a 13-7 second quarter for the Thunderbirds made it 28-12, and they've just gone on with it in the third. 45-19, and here we are at 52-20.
The cross-court pass by Bradstock to Altschwager, I suppose a big no-no from a coaching point of view. Bradstock's right-handed and it still have to go through all those hands, but turn it around with a great intercept and a great ball into Altschwager. Fantastic play in the end by Bradstock. After the bad pass of Bradstock, she's turned it around with a fantastic intercept and an offload to Altschwager.
Great. Altschwager. And margin back to 30. 9:50 left in the game, and the Thunderbirds are going to do the business. They've just given the Jaegers a chance to build some momentum here in the last quarter.
There hasn't been much opportunity for them to build momentum in this match with the pressure by the Thunderbirds.
And Martin, since being introduced for this last quarter, 5 from 5. So they're keeping up a terrific shooting percentage, the Thunderbirds, 85 for the match, and then the Heinrich went out on 81%.
Great play there. Medhurst finding herself under the circle with no defensive pressure. Costa wasn't too far behind.
Medhurst, von Bertouch, Martin. Nicely worked with Mutton. Costa out. Gee, that 22 penalties against Purcell just leaps off the stats page more than double any other player in her team. And even Bianca Reddy for the Thunderbirds hasn't yet got to double figures. 50 penalties to 26. They've been absolutely hammered. The umpire's right in front of me. Will I say it again? Either. Ragstock to Wellham.
Oh.
You've got to be just on the money because Fellows is almost as tall as Altschwager there. And she had front position, so that was a tough ball to get right.
In all fairness to Purcell, I appreciate the fact that a defender has to take risks and in doing so make contact and be penalised. But I suppose there comes a point in the game where you've really got to back off, adjust to the umpiring standards and certainly reduce the number of penalties that you do have against you.
You know, sometimes, depending on where it is, Liz, and you can expand on this, the penalty is more costly than others.
Definitely, particularly outside the circle. If you penalise outside the circle and out of play, it leaves your teammate, the goalkeeper or goal defence, goalkeeper or goal defence, on two in the circle, which is a really tough ask.
Eco under pressure from Schultz. The ball spilled away and she gets a contact call against her. Fellows.
It wasn't an advantage, definitely not an advantage for either. It should have been Jaegers' possession and they should have had an opportunity to take that penalty pass.
Oh, who's got it? Oh. Nobody. Mutton's got a trip to the floor and Costa helps her up.
Unfortunate for Costa because she had a great attempt at that intercept then.
Costa and Mutton would be Data's teammates from days gone by, wouldn't they?
They would have, definitely.
Ether. That one from behind by Nat von Bertouch. But it was play on. Good no call, I suppose. Contact against Schultz.
Oh.
Oops. Oh, one against Poynton. Helps out Wellham there.
Great defensive pressure by Fellows and Poynton. Good understanding. Poynton had that covered. It was unfortunate that she squatted down and contacted it with her behind then.
Oops. Good hands up from Gilmore. Thunderbirds heading towards 60 goals. Their biggest score against the Jaegers, 70, and that was last year in round 4.
I think they'll reach 70 in this particular match.
No, but the coaches do ask that you keep pressing on, build that percentage, because you know we expect things to be tight between Phoenix, Swifts and Thunderbirds. And boy, don't you want a home semi-final with a chance for a home grand final.
And more often than not, Steve, you're right, it does boil down to percentages. And Thunderbirds have always been very high and always sit top of the table with their percentages.
3:40 left in the match at Etzer Park as Gilmore finds Altschwager. Bradstock. And, unlucky. Fellows did just enough to put her off the catch and the ball spilled out of court, of course.
Great pass by Bradstock, who received a second pass from the pocket then, delivered it well. It was unfortunate that Altschwager wasn't able to hold on to it.
Bertouch, and nice hands up from Gilmore to push the turnover the Jaegers' way. Giving it up in the middle though. And 38 turnovers to 21. That's hurt the Jaegers. I mean, their overall shooting percentage, Liz, is not desperately disappointing at 75%, but they've had only just half the attempts.
So they just haven't given their goalers the opportunity to have a shot at goal, like we were saying earlier, but lots of errors coming down the court, and errors that are certainly, there's plenty of room for improvement. And combinations, it is early days in the season, they've got a new coach, so there's, you know, a lot for John to work on.
Medhurst. And again, sharp work around the circle by goalers and feeders, and Let's change the angle, open it up, and we do it so efficiently. 61-27. 2 minutes to go. And John Fletcher will be poring over the tape, the stats, and looking for improvement across the court. But Fellows just pulls in a very comfortable intercept. Oops. Scholes asked a little bit much of Nat von Bertouch there, who can afford to smile at a teammate. Might not be a smile in a different game situation.
Unlike Scholes to throw a wayward pass like that, but not to worry.
Gilmore put under some pressure. That's good.
Well kept in.
Good defensive effort, as always. Contact against Fellows.
It's ironic that Altschwager's holding for the lob against Jamelza Fellows, but didn't do it earlier in the match when she had the height advantage against Harvey.
Advantage in front away.
Down it comes, taken by Costa. Had the announcement during the week that Anna Robury from New Zealand is pulling the pin on her international career. She's expecting a baby.
Fantastic news for her.
Just on the Thunderbirds news, you know, Kath Harvey-Williams expecting, and so Sarah Sutter. How do they do that at the same time? Those girls who played together for so long will be having their babies pretty close together in time as well. And just seconds left in this one. When's yours due, Liz? 3 months' time?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, another netballer, possibly.
Scholes.
Or maybe footballer.
Who knows? The Thunderbirds have certainly played brilliant netball tonight, and looking for something a bit flashy towards the end was Medhurst, and that is the end. Oh, what a win. What a win for the Thunderbirds, 63-28. That'll suit them just fine. And Margaret Angove can barely hold back a smile. She ought to be proud, particularly of the defence. But, oh, look, all up and down the court, there was something to be happy about for the Thunderbirds. John Fletcher can manage a smile as well.
We really wanted to start the quarters off strong and not have a bit of a slow start like we had the last week. And, yeah, I guess they came at us with the body and we stood up to it and played our game, so that we were happy with that.
And the Thunderbirds, Swifts, Phoenix and Orioles all have maximum points after 2 rounds, and that neatly breaks the table in half because the other 4 are all looking for their first win. At 5 on Saturday, the World Cup Bowls continues from Warilla. Many of the game's best players in action, and that is followed by Head-to-Head, hosted by Ashley Bradnam, the quiz show for sports buffs. Next week on ABC2, we return for what should be a great match here in Adelaide, our live match in round 3 between the Thunderbirds and Melbourne Phoenix. Hope you can join us for that one next Friday at 8 o'clock. Thanks for joining us today. A great win for the Adelaide Thunderbirds. I'm Steve Rebillard for ABC Sport. See you again soon.
It's a Bucks weekend.
We lost.
That's gone from